Hey world! So the other day Luna and Will made a video about religion, and in that video they talked a lot about tradition and liberality and what it means to be a Christian and what it means to be a liberal Christian as Will defines. And since I myself identify as a liberal evangelic Christian, I had a lot of thoughts on what they said, and I have a lot of own experiences that I kind of just want to share with you today. I also, from this video and from my thoughts on it, have so many ideas for videos and for different topics regarding religion that I'm thinking about doing like a religious week or at least more religious themed videos in December, leading up to Christmas. So if that's something you want, and if there's something in specific you want me to talk about regarding religion, then please let me know in the comments. They talked a lot about being traditional versus being liberal as a Christian and in general as a religious person. And for example, they also talked a lot about being a fundamentalist and taking the Bible literal. And I thought that was really interesting because that's something that I found during my kind of walk to religion, or however you want to call it, that there are a lot of things in the Bible and also like in songs we sing or in phrases we say in church that I don't actually believe in those things. And so when I thought about being a Christian and what it would mean for me, I actually asked my pastor if she had doubts about religion and if she knew an answer to that. Like, could I be a Christian? Could I be a real Christian if I don't actually believe everything we say or sing or pray? And she said something I found quite interesting, that it's all rather like a guideline and that it's all rather like a ground for my belief. And I think for me, I imagine like the Bible and our prayers and our songs kind of like pedestals on which my religion stands. And I don't have to have every single pedestal to have a safe and good religion. For example, if we have like 6 pedestals and I don't believe in 2 of those, I can still take them away and I still have a functional base for my religion. I know this is a really weird metaphor maybe, but that's how it works for me. Like, I don't have to believe every single word in the Bible, and I don't have to believe every single word like that we say in our phrases. Sometimes I actually leave them out when we say them out loud in church, because I just don't believe in those things. But yeah, that's something that I understand why people, or why fundamentalists would say that you can't really identify as a Christian if you don't believe in those things, because obviously they are kind of the rules for our belief. But then again, it's kind of like Will said, it's a belief. We don't know everything. That's why it's called believing in God and not knowing of God, because religion is kind of an opinion. It's something you make up for yourself, and we do have rules, we do have examples of what we could believe in, and we can identify as a certain group and as a certain member of a group, but it's still our own thing. Therefore I think it isn't that surprising if there are liberal Christians. As I said, I myself identify as a liberal Christian because I think we've come so far, and belief and opinion and religion with that is something that constantly develops because humans constantly develop. We've come so far in the last 100 years, so much has changed, so why shouldn't religion change too? And again, I'd love to make an entire video about stereotypes regarding Christians, because there's this image of us in the world, and there are so many people who don't even know that there are young Christians and young people who actually believe in God. Like, even when I say I'm a Christian, I still get this look like, yeah, sure, you're a Christian. And I think it comes with what Will said, that there are few people who know that there are actually Christians who fight for equal rights and for LGBT rights, and it's just something that people can't quite imagine. And therefore maybe this idea of traditional Christians versus liberal Christians, or generally traditional religion versus liberal religion, isn't something we really make up, but that it's something that society makes up about us. So it's kind of a stereotype that we then fulfill. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy kind of, because if you're told that you can't be a Christian because you're liberal, then of course there won't be obvious liberal Christians, because then, as with Will, they're kind of scared to admit that they're Christians because then they can't be liberal, or they're scared to admit that they're liberal because then they can't be Christian, which is kind of sad, because I think actually those things go together really well. For me, the ground rule kind of Christianity is love. It says in the Bible, and it says in nearly every prayer and every song, that we are all God's children, that we all love God, that we are all equal in God's eyes. The way I understand it, believing in a higher power often means that we are loved by that higher power, because obviously they made us. If we believe that they exist, then we believe mostly that they made us, that they created us, and then it must mean that we are all wanted. And therefore, we should all respect and accept and love each other. I hope this makes sense. I just realized that maybe this only makes sense in my head. I hope you understand what I mean. But basically, I think there is no question of tradition versus liberality in religion, because tradition tells us that we should be liberal, kind of. Okay, that sounded really stupid. Anyways, I hope you always have reason to smile, and I shall see you next week. Goodbye!